But he, him, she, her, and they, them, and then your gender is man, woman, non-binary. Love that. Love the inclusivity.
Get the fuck out of here.
So here we go again, ladies and gentlemen, another puff piece from a puffy-wuffy female journalist called Zarmina Khan. You know who she is because Jeff, Smash JT himself, wrote an article about her and made a video about her being one of the worst video game journos out there. She really is a shill for PlayStation because she works for them as a features writer. And the latest puff piece, as I'm going to call it, that she put out is absolutely silly beyond belief because guess what? Dragon Age the Veilguard, a game that was released for around $70 on Halloween of 2024, is now free to download and play on the PlayStation Network if you still have that console. I don't have my PlayStation 5 anymore. I sold it, thank God, because that thing was just gathering dust in my room with my Playboy collectibles, which I have more fun with than ever playing on that damn console. So without further ado, folks, let's get into today's video. So here we are at the PlayStationLifestyle.net website. And by the way, it's really funny because they want you to run ads on their particular page, but I've just completely ramshackled my browser with all the anti-ad software you can, so it's having a hard time figuring out what to do, which is pretty hilarious. So as you can see, Dragon Age the Veilguard is up there, right up there where it belongs. I can think of other places where it can belong, but I can't say that right here. And this is how Zarmina starts her article. Looks like Dragon Age the Veilguard isn't a big tit as PlayStation Plus freebie. Well, Zarmina, have you played the game? Or like me, have you suffered through watching Tash telling everybody, including her mum, who he or she identifies as, and then you have the other character doing press-ups because I guess she misgendered somebody in an RPG fantasy, by the way, when that sort of ideology did not exist?
I'm pulling a barf!
So Zarmina the amateur writes, as a frequent user of PSN profiles, which bases its charts on player data, I always look at the list of popular games of the week to see what's trending. Every time PlayStation Plus lines up and refreshes, the biggest games in the catalogue instantly pop up in the top 10. This week is different, however, and it stands out. Pretty much like you're writing, Miss Khan. Dragon Age Veilguard is sitting at the bottom. What, do you mean this bottom? As the week's most popular games, in the 9th spot at the time of this writing. Above it are games that were released on PlayStation Plus in previous months, like High on Life, which apparently is pretty woke, and God of War Ragnarok. This may change as the weekend approaches, but at present, Dragon Age, the VA, or rather DAV, only has 1,565 recent players. I should note that PSN Profiles isn't indicative of the entire PSN, but it's fairly accurate when it comes to what's trending. I'm one of those who added Dragon Age the Veilguard to their library, as I do with all PS Plus monthly games, but haven't dabbled into it yet, meaning she won't do it. She just got it there in her digital collection, so it looks nice and pretty, of course. Interestingly, I'm seeing a familiar pattern on gaming forums like Reddit. Quite a few players have said they have downloaded Dragon Age the Veilguard, but don't have any plans to play it yet. Otherwise, they've just simply claimed it. Have our readers given it a chance? What, you mean your audience of 3 people, Zarmina, who bothered to read your stupid articles? I mean, look, what Smash JT said about her, because she's an awful writer, she never provides receipts of where she got her sources from. It's just yak, 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 like women do on International Women's Day, which is quite funny actually, because it just occurred to me, what about the dudes who've transitioned into a woman? Does that rule still apply to them, or are they shunted to one side? I find that quite funny actually. But no, I will provide you proof now, folks, on Pocket PSN. And as you can see, Zarmina, I've actually taken the time and the trouble to do your job for you, you silly duckling. And at number 8, we have Dragon Age the Veilguard, with concurrently, at the moment, if I'm reading this correctly, 1,350 players who have only earned, in total, 412 trophies, which is such a paltry number when you look at Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii, 913 trophies earned so far. But the top dog, of course, is Monster Hunter Wilds with 6,653 trophies earned. I wonder if that's the modded edition of that game, which we love so much. So there you go. Zarmina could not even provide actual proof, because I guess it takes up the real estate of her article. It's just about her blabbering on. Why is this woman actually still employed by Sony and PlayStation? Why? Because she... Oh my God, it's, yeah, I tell you, Jesus Christ. I saw a bit of a red flag yesterday, changing the subject very quickly. I watched the first episode of Daredevil Born Again. Who is listed as an executive producer on that show? Sana Amanat, that woman who tricked her way into the comic book industry by having a degree, subsequently being called out as someone who was harassing male employees in Marvel, and then they refused to answer any questions whether the allegations were true, and she still got a job, and she's one of the EPs on Daredevil, which is a bit of a red flag for me so far. And I have seen the first episode. I am going to make a separate video regarding that and the second episode when I watch it today. But honestly, folks, why is somebody like Zarmina Khan virtue signaling for a game that everybody bowed out of since its first 2 weeks of release? I don't know, but you know, that's who she is. She's a Muslim chick who believes in this sort of weirdo ideology where games force that ideology down your throat, but who cares? But someone who do cares, folks, is me to you. So if you enjoyed the video today, and I'm fast approaching 15,000 subscribers on my channel, go on folks, go out there, share this everywhere. Even give Asmongold a copy to look at, because I'm so desperate I want him to watch one of my videos. Of course, I wouldn't want to bestow that upon Mr. Zack himself. He'd probably have a seizure and fall down in his cockroach-infested room. But on that one, folks, if you were me and if I were you, you might wish to come back for the next video.
I absolutely was blown away by this. It's beautiful to see the inclusion in the game and to see yourself represented